Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexis Baxley. I am the Executive Director at the North Dakota School Boards Association. Some of you have been lucky or unlucky enough to see me before. If you're a new board member, I'm probably a new face. Hopefully you'll get to see me a little bit more often and see me this fall. I hope to get to know you. Thank you for joining us today. Superintendent Basler and I think, enjoy hosting this together every summer. It gives us a chance to kind of get you guys some quick information after you're elected, some quick information if you're a returning board member. We appreciate that you're joining us. You're putting time in right away to become the best board member that you can be. So thank you for coming, and thank you for signing up for what will be, I think, a very rewarding job.
I think so too. Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Alexis. I just want to start by thanking the North Dakota School Boards Association for being our partner in this. This is our 5th annual co-sponsored school board boot camp. So how many new board members do we have in the room today? Raise your hand. Quite a few. Welcome, welcome. It is the best job that you'll ever have, and I promise you that. It's going to be frustrating, it's going to be rewarding. All of your colleagues that didn't raise the hand will tell you that you will never sit through a basketball game or a football game again when seeing the whole thing, or even make a quick stop into the grocery store, because that won't happen. But it really is the best job that you've ever had, and I say that with 9 years of experience. I say that with 9 years of experience. I was a school board member for Mandan Public Schools for 9 years, and president of that board for 7 of those 9 years. And it truly is, even after being in this job for 10 years, and actually I served as a state superintendent and a Mandan school board member for 6 months. I overlapped, I finished my term. And I stepped down in January when I took my oath of office for the state superintendent. I stepped down with the presidency, but filled out the term and just let the electors elect my successor 6 months afterwards. But yeah, that was kind of interesting, finishing my job up on the 11th floor of the Capitol and then driving across the river to do a school board meeting. The impact that you will have, and all of those those interrupted grocery store runs, or those interrupted basketball games, and those phone calls that you think are going to take 10 minutes and then there's an hour and a half because they kind of go into some other issues from a patron or a constituent. They all are worth it when every May you're invited to your school graduation, and you see those kids walk across that graduation stage, that some of them were pushed, pulled, and drugged by the families that you partnered with in your communities. When you know that you were a part of making that happen, it is all worth it. And it's still a feeling that I cherish to this day. I'm very, very jealous of school board members every May because of that up-close personal impact that you're able to have. So thank you for starting out for the new board members here, thank you for starting out that journey that you're going to have, attending today's boot camp and learning as much as you possibly can. The veteran members in here, thank you for coming back and always sharpening your saw, for always finding one more tool to put into your toolbox to make you a better board member, because your kids are depending on it. Your kids are depending on you. I say this often, you'll hear me say it, the veteran board members have heard me say it before. There's a lot of people that are representing people in education. We have teachers associations, superintendent and principal associations, you have parent-teacher associations, you have taxpayer groups. All of those people are your constituents. But there's one group that can't hire a lobbyist, can't pay dues to a membership organization to be represented in your decision making. In fact, they can't even vote for you because they're not 18. Those are the people that you really need to keep front of mind when you're making decisions. And so I really appreciate, again, I remember when I was a new board member, at that time, the School Boards Association had a summer conference and a fall conference. And I went to the summer conference. I was elected in June, and it was in July, just like the boot camp is. And then fast forward a little bit, I'll give you a little bit more of my history. Fast forward, I was elected to the state board of the North Dakota School Boards Association, and kind of got an up close and personal view into what it takes to put on a conference and what it takes to actually not lose money putting on a conference. And when you had a summer conference, we really just needed to make the decision to say, a summer conference just isn't feasible anymore. It just doesn't, with people, such a short summer in North Dakota, people are off doing things, a lot of agriculture embedded, there's lots of work to do in the summer. We just did away with it. But when I became the state superintendent, I remembered what a valuable lifeline that was, to understand who the director of the School Boards Association is, to understand that there's a group of people there that I can pick up the phone and call, that have resources, that have probably heard your situation and experienced it, helped other school board members walk through it. Waiting till October, that is a very good conference, but wow, we had done some hiring, we had approved a budget, we had made some decisions about programs, and July, August, September, and almost all of October were 4 months of a term where I didn't know those people existed. And so that's when I reached out to Alexis and said, hey, if we do it at the Capitol and we don't charge any registration fees, the Department of Public Instruction can do this. I said, so if you're willing to do more work with less revenue and no pay, then I'm your partner. And that's why I'm really grateful to Alexis for taking me up, for partnering with us and doing that, and offering this opportunity to all of you. So thank you again. With that, we're going to try and stay on schedule, maybe even ahead of schedule. And I know it looks like thunderstorms out this morning, but it promises to be a beautiful day, so we'll try and get you out on time.
I think a couple housekeeping things before we move on. There is coffee and water in the back if you have not found it yet. There are restrooms. If you are a gentleman, you are lucky enough that you can go right through a back door in the back corner there. If you're a lady, you're going to have to come out and go across the hall, but there are restrooms nearby. And then Patty has a sign-up sheet going around. Some of you have probably gotten it already. Please make sure that you don't miss that. Get your name, I think your email on there, so that we can get a hold of you and have good contact information for you afterwards. So with that, who's up first here? All right. Well,
and before I move on, I'm just going to, so you know who I am because your mailboxes were probably flooded with flyers about 2 years ago. But I want to introduce part of my team. Patty Carmichael she's my right arm. This is the executive assistant for the state superintendent, Patty Carmichael. She can get you to the right person whenever you need it. Next to her, going to the left, is Lori Matsky, assistant superintendent Lori Matsky. She has been with the department for 28 years. There's not a single thing that she hasn't experienced that you might need help with. She is our definite veteran and sage of knowledge. And then next to her is Donna Fishbeck. Donna Fishbeck is the chief of staff, deputy in some states it's called. Donna, I'll just share this story. Donna is also a former school board member. Donna, you served 8 years? No.
9 years.
9 years as well. Donna was, when I was the president of the Mandan School Board, Donna was the vice president of the Mandan School Board. So when I became state superintendent, she was working at the Bismarck State College in student affairs, vice president of student affairs, and I convinced her to come over and do a career change and continue our work. The reason that I want to introduce you to those people, and you'll meet other people throughout the day, I want you to put faces with names and know that we work for you. Every morning when we pull in to the parking lot at the Capitol, we know that our job is to help you so you can help your students achieve. That's what we do. We are hopefully a non-bureaucratic agency. We do have regulations. That's our job. We have to enforce federal law and state law. The legislators get to make the law. I have to enforce it. And the Department of Public Instruction have to enforce it. People confuse sometimes when they call my office and they don't like the way the law is written and they want me to change it. But I'm like, well, that's probably a call to your senator, your representative, but until they change it, I have to enforce it this way. So I am the implementer. Much like you and the relationship that you will have with your leaders in your school. You are the policymakers. You are the budget decision makers. For me, that's the legislature. They make the policy, They set the expectations and they tell me how much money I have to do that with. That is your role. Your superintendent and your business manager are the two people, your two employees that you have hired to carry out and implement what you have decided as decision makers. But you are the decision makers. So, we're the department. When you need help making decisions, please don't say, oh gosh, what does DPI want? I wish they didn't know we existed. Please think of us as one of the first resources that you can call if anything needs to, if you need any help. You should also know that many of us are educators. The majority of us are educators, former educators. And so we like to do that. We like to help people learn something new and figure something out. So.